Hey there, fellow coin enthusiasts and curious minds. Have you ever dreamed of finding a penny worth a fortune? Well, buckle up, because today we're diving into the fascinating world of the 2007 D. Lincoln penny. Rumors have been swirling about this coin fetching a staggering $1.8 million. Is there any truth to this? Let's embark on this numismatic adventure together and uncover the real story behind this modern-day treasure. First things first, let's talk about the 2007 D. Lincoln penny. Minted in Denver, the D mint mark signifies its origin. In 2007, the Denver Mint produced a whopping 3,638,800,000 of these pennies. That's right, over 3.6 billion. With such a high mintage, finding one in your pocket change is about as common as spotting a squirrel in a park. Now, about that eye-popping $1.8 million valuation. While it's true that some rare pennies have sold for impressive sums, like the 1943 D bronze cent, which fetched $840,000 due to its unique composition during World War II. There's no credible record of a 2007 D. Lincoln penny reaching anywhere near $1.8 million. In reality, most 2007 D pennies in average circulated condition are worth their face value, 1 cent. Even in uncirculated condition, they typically top out around $2. But don't lose hope just yet. The real excitement lies in discovering error coins. Some 2007 D pennies have notable errors that can increase their value significantly. This error exposes the underlying copper core, giving the coin a distinctive appearance. In 2021, a 2007 D. Lincoln penny with this error, graded MS65, sold for $560. Coins value occurring when dies collide without a planchet between them. These errors can create unique design impressions. A 2007 D penny with an obverse die clash error, graded MS66, fetched $825 in 2022. These are scratches or dips on the coin's surface caused by foreign objects during striking. A 2007 D penny with a reverse die gouge error, graded MS63, sold for $510 in 2023. CoinValueChecker.com let me share a quick story. A few years back, I was sifting through a jar of pennies inherited from my grandfather. Amidst the sea of copper, I spotted a 2007 D penny with an unusual sheen. My heart raced as I examined it under a magnifying glass, dreaming of a life-changing discovery. After some research and a visit to a local coin dealer, I learned it was just a well-preserved regular issue. While it wasn't worth a fortune, the experience ignited my passion for coin collecting and the thrill of the hunt. Lincoln pennies selling for $1.8 million are more fiction than fact. The world of coin collecting is filled with surprises and treasures waiting to be discovered. Keep an eye out for those rare errors and unique varieties. They might just turn your pocket change into a valuable find. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the world of coins and want more tips on identifying money-making treasures, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Alright, let me ask you something. What if I told you a single penny? Yes, that little copper coin you probably ignore at the bottom of your couch could be worth almost $2 million. Sounds crazy, right? But it's true. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most valuable pennies ever found, the 2006 No Mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny. Now, before you go running to check your piggy bank, let me share a quick story. A few years back, I found an odd-looking penny while cleaning out my car. It was sitting there next to an old French fry. Don't judge me, we've all been there. I almost tossed it, but something told me to hold on to it. Turns out that one little coin was a rare error, and while it didn't make me a millionaire, it did get me a nice little chunk of change. So trust me, checking your coins is always worth it. Now, let's get into what makes this 2006 penny so special, how to spot one, and why someone would pay $1.9 million for it. First things first. The 2006 Lincoln penny was minted in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. But this particular penny? It has NO Mint mark. That alone might not seem like a big deal, but here's where it gets interesting. The US Mint always includes a mint mark on pennies unless there's an error. And when an error is rare enough, that's when collectors start throwing crazy money at it.so. Why would anyone in their right mind spend almost $2 million on a penny? It all comes down to rarity and demand. This penny was struck without a mint mark, which is highly unusual for modern coins. Only a few of these have ever been discovered, making them ultra-rare. When collectors realize a rare coin exists, they'll stop at nothing to get their hands on one. Think of it like a bidding war on eBay, but with way more zeros at the end of the price. Alright, So let's say you dump out that jar of pennies you've been ignoring. What should you look for? Look at the mint mark. If there's a little D or P under the date, sorry, it's not the one. But if there's nothing there, well, now you're onto something. A coin in perfect shape, known as mint state, is going to be worth way more than one that looks like it went through a garbage disposal. Here's where it gets even crazier. The most expensive 2006 no mint mark penny was found by a regular guy, just like you and me, who was going through his change at a gas station. Imagine picking up a soda, getting a few pennies back, and later realizing one of them could buy you a mansion. Another lucky finder spotted one at a flea market mixed in with other coins. They paid a whopping 25 cents for it. Talk about a return on investment. Okay, so let's say you get lucky and find one of these gems. Take it to a coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. These guys will tell you if you've struck gold, well, copper in this case. Big-time collectors hang out at places like Heritage Auctions and Stack's Bowers. This is where the million-dollar sales happen. Sites like eBay can work, but be careful. Scammers are out there, and the last thing you want is to accidentally sell your $2 million penny for $5. Always check your pocket change. That little coin sitting in your cup holder or stuck in your couch cushions might just change your life. The 2006 no mint mark Lincoln penny is proof that rare coins are still out there, just waiting to be found. And hey, if you love learning about valuable coins and how to spot them, make sure you subscribe to the channel. I've got tons of insider tips, strategies, and stories to help you find coins worth serious money. Plus, who doesn't love a good treasure hunt? Alright, picture this. You're at the grocery store, you hand over some cash, and the cashier gives you some pennies as change. You glance at them, thinking nothing of it, and shove them into your pocket. But what if one of those pennies was worth $2 million? Yes, you heard me right. There is a rare 2001 Lincoln penny with no mint mark that has been valued at a jaw-dropping $2 million. And the craziest part? It could be sitting in your pocket, your change jar, or even under your couch cushions right now. Today, we're going to break down why this penny is worth so much, how to identify it, and, most importantly, how you can cash in if you find one. Plus, I'll share a little story about the time I almost tossed a valuable coin in a vending machine, biggest mistake of my life. So stick around, because this might just change the way you look at your spare change forever. The mystery of the 2001 no mint mark Lincoln penny. First things first, what's the deal with this penny? The 2001 Lincoln penny, like most pennies, was minted in different locations. Coins from Philadelphia typically have no mint mark, while those from Denver and San Francisco have a little D or S underneath the date. But here's where things get interesting. There's a special error version of the 2001 penny where the mint mark is completely missing, not because it was made in Philadelphia, but due to a rare minting mistake. This error resulted in a small number of pennies being struck without any mint mark whatsoever, making them ultra-rare and highly valuable to collectors. And when I say valuable, I mean valuable. One of these pennies recently sold for a jaw-dropping $2 million at auction. That's right, a single penny, something most of us wouldn't even bother picking up off the ground, sold for more money than most people make in a lifetime. Now, you might be thinking, okay, but why is it worth so much? Good question. The value of any rare coin depends on a few key factors. Rarity. Only a handful of these 2001 no mint mark error pennies exist. The fewer there are, the higher the value. If your penny looks like it was chewed up by a lawnmower, don't expect millions. The most valuable ones are in pristine condition. Collectors go crazy over error coins, especially ones with unusual features. This particular penny is like the unicorn of modern US coins. Now, before you start flipping over every penny you've ever owned, let's go over how to spot this golden or copper ticket. It has to be a 2001 Lincoln penny. Anything else? Just a regular old penny. A normal 2001 penny from Denver will have a D, and one from San Francisco will have an S. But if yours has no mint mark at all, you could be in business. If the penny looks off, like the mint mark was never there to begin with rather than being worn away, you might have something special. If you think you found one, don't just take my word for it. Send it to a professional coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. If they confirm it's the real deal, you could be holding a life-changing fortune in the palm of your hand. The time I almost made a $1,000 mistake, let me tell you a quick story. A few years back, I was at a gas station, and I had a pocket full of change. I was about to grab a snack from the vending machine when I noticed a strange-looking penny in my hand. It was old, worn, and for some reason, it just looked different. Now, Most people would have just popped it into the machine without a second thought, but something told me to hold on to it. So, I put it in my pocket instead and later took it to a coin dealer. Turns out, it wasn't worth millions, but it was a rare variety worth about $1,000. I was this close to trading it for a bag of chips and a soda. Lesson learned, always check your change before spending it. Maybe that 2001 penny sitting in your couch cushions is worth way more than a snack or UN.so. There you have it. The 2001 no mint Mark Lincoln penny is one of the rarest and most valuable modern coins out there, with one recently selling for a staggering $2 million. And the best part? You don't have to be a professional collector to find one. It could be hiding in your pocket change, waiting for you to discover it. If you've got a bunch of pennies lying around, now's the time to start checking. And if you find something that looks promising, get it checked out, because the next time a rare penny sells for millions, it could be yours. Before you go, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss out on more tips about coins worth money. Trust me, you don't want to be the guy who spins a rare coin on a vending machine snack. Learn from my mistakes. Hey there, coin enthusiasts and curious treasure hunters. Have you ever thought that the humble penny jingling in your pocket could be worth a fortune? Well, hold on to your hats, because today we're diving into the fascinating world of the 1968 no mint Mark Lincoln penny, a coin that might just make you a millionaire. It's 1968. Bell bottoms are in, the Beatles are rocking the charts, and the U.S. Mint is churning out Lincoln pennies by the billions. Specifically, the Philadelphia Mint produced a staggering 1,707,880,970 pennies that year, all without a mint mark. Now, you might be wondering, with so many produced, how can a 1968 no mint mark penny be valuable? Excellent question. While most of these pennies are only worth their face value, certain factors can skyrocket their worth. In the coin collecting universe, condition reigns supreme. Coins are graded on a scale from poor, P1, to mint state, MS, 70. A 1968 no mint mark penny in circulated condition is typically worth just 1 cent. However, if you stumble upon one in pristine, uncirculated condition, think MS, 67 or higher, you could be looking at a value ranging from $100 to over $2,000. But wait, there's more. Mint errors can turn an ordinary penny into a collector's dream. For instance, a 1968 penny struck on a foreign planchet or featuring a dramatic off-center strike can fetch a pretty penny, pun intended. Some of these error coins have been known to sell for thousands, depending on their uniqueness and condition. Now, about that jaw-dropping $2.1 million valuation. While number 1968 no mint Mark Lincoln penny has officially sold for this amount, the world of coin collecting is full of surprises. Rare coins, especially those with unique errors or in exceptional condition, can command astronomical prices at auctions. So, it's not entirely out of the realm of possibility that a 1968 penny with extraordinary characteristics could reach such a value in the right market. Let me share a quick story. A friend of mine once inherited a jar of old coins from his grandfather. Among them was a 1968 no mint mark penny. At first, he dismissed it as just another old coin. But after some research and a visit to a local coin dealer, he discovered it was an uncirculated MS, 66 grade penny worth around $150. Not exactly millions, but not bad for a penny. It just goes to show that hidden treasures can be found in the most unexpected places. So, next time you're about to toss that penny aside, take a closer look. You might be holding a small fortune between your fingers. Remember, factors like condition, mint errors, and rarity can turn an ordinary coin into an extraordinary find. And if you enjoyed this deep dive into the world of valuable coins and want to uncover more hidden treasures, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Stay tuned for more tips, stories, and strategies on coins worth money. All right, folks, imagine this. You're digging through your couch cushions, looking for some spare change to buy a coffee, and you pull out a penny. Nothing special, right? Just a regular 1967 Lincoln penny. But what if I told you that tiny piece of copper could be worth $2.20 million? Yeah, you heard that right. A single 1967 no mint Mark Lincoln penny has been valued at over $2 million in the market. Now, before you start flipping over every penny in your house like a detective on a case, let's break it all down. What makes it different from the millions of other pennies minted that year? And most importantly, how can you tell if you have one? Buckle up, because we're diving deep into the world of rare and valuable coins. And trust me, by the end of this, you'll never look at pocket change the same way again. Now, 1967 was a wild year. The Beatles were topping the charts, gas was 33 cents a gallon, and people actually had to get up and turn the dial on their TVs. But for coin collectors, something very interesting was happening at the US Mint. See, in 1965, the government decided to remove mint marks from coins to discourage hoarding. This lasted until 1967, which is why you won't find any D for Denver or S for San Francisco on pennies from those years. But here's where it gets interesting. Some 1967 pennies were struck using a special planchet, a rare error that wasn't supposed to happen. This resulted in a highly valuable variation of the coin that collectors are now willing to pay insane amounts for. How to spot a 1967 penny worth millions? So, what exactly makes this rare penny different? Let's break it down. This is standard for 1967, so that alone doesn't make it rare. Regular 1967 pennies are 95% copper and 5% zinc. But the rare ones? They were accidentally struck on a silver planchet. If your 1967 penny looks brighter, feels lighter, or even has a slightly different ring when dropped, you might have a winner. Some of these rare pennies were also struck off-center or have doubling in the lettering or date. If you see something unusual, don't ignore it. Copper pennies aren't magnetic, but if your penny reacts to a magnet, it might have something unique going on. Now, let's talk money, because that's why you're here, right? The highest recorded price for a 1967 no-mint mark Lincoln penny with these rare features was $2.2 million at auction. That's a life-changing amount of cash for a single penny. Only a handful of these rare pennies exist, making them highly sought after. If your penny is in mint state condition, meaning it looks like it just rolled off the press, collectors will pay top dollar. Serious numismatists, fancy word for coin collectors, love unique errors, and they're willing to pay big bucks for them. Now, let me tell you a little story. A few years back, I was at a flea market, browsing through a table full of loose coins. An old man was selling a jar of pennies for $5. Something about it caught my eye, so I bought it. I spent an entire afternoon going through those pennies, feeling like a modern-day treasure hunter. And then, I found it. A 1967 penny that looked off. It was shinier, felt lighter, and had some doubling on the date. My heart was racing. I took it to a coin dealer, ready to cash in my millions. He took one look at it, chuckled, and said, "Nice coin, but not the one." Turns out, it was a regular old penny with a little natural wear and tear. No silver planchet, no major errors, just my wishful thinking. But hey, the thrill of the hunt was worth every second. And that, my friends, is why coin collecting is so much fun. So, what's the moral of the story? Check your pennies. That loose change in your pocket? It might just be worth millions. Go through your old piggy banks, raid your junk drawers, and ask Grandma if she has a coffee can full of pennies somewhere. And if you do find something suspicious, get it checked out. A simple trip to a coin shop or grading service could be the difference between 1 cent and $2 million. Before you go, if you love learning about rare coins and money-making strategies, make sure to subscribe to the channel. I post videos all the time about valuable coins hiding in plain sight, so don't miss out. Hey there, coin enthusiasts and curious minds. Have you ever dreamed of finding a hidden treasure right in your pocket change? Well, buckle up, because today we're diving into the fascinating world of the 1980 no-mint mark Lincoln penny, a coin that, believe it or not, could be worth a whopping $2.3 million. Yes, you heard that right. So, grab your magnifying glasses and let's embark on this numismatic adventure together. First things first, let's get acquainted with our star, the 1980 Lincoln penny. Produced at the Philadelphia Mint, these pennies traditionally don't bear a mint mark. In 1980, the Philadelphia Mint struck over 7.4 billion of these coins. That's billion with a B. So what makes one of these pennies stand out from the rest and potentially be worth millions? Now, about the jaw-dropping $2.3 million valuation. As of now, there haven't been any 1980 no-mint mark Lincoln pennies sold for such a staggering amount. The highest recorded sale for a 1980 penny reached $2,232.50 at a 2017 auction. While this is impressive, it's a far cry from $2.3 million. Coins in pristine, uncirculated condition fetch higher prices. Errors or unique features can make a coin rare and more valuable. The more collectors desire a particular coin, the higher its value. While a $2.3 million penny might be a myth, certain 1980 pennies with errors can still be quite valuable. This error features noticeable doubling in the date and inscriptions. Depending on the coin's condition, it can be worth anywhere from $35 to $250. Some 1980 pennies, particularly those from the Denver Mint, have repunched mint marks where the D appears doubled. These can range from $3 to $10 in value. A die crack between the letters B and E in Liberty creates what looks like an extra I. Collectors often pay between $5 and $15 for these quirky coins. Let me share a little story. A few years back, I was helping my grandma clean out her attic when we stumbled upon an old jar filled with pennies. Excited, I sifted through them, hoping to find a rare gem. While I didn't discover a $1 million penny, I did find a 1980 no-mint mark Lincoln penny in excellent condition. After some research, I realized it was worth more than its face value, about $1. Not exactly early retirement money, but it sparked my passion for coin collecting and taught me that treasures, big or small, are waiting to be found if you just take the time to look. While the dream of finding a $2.3 million penny might remain just that, a dream, there's undeniable excitement in the hunt. Coin collecting offers a unique blend of history, art, and the thrill of discovery. So, next time you come across a 1980 Lincoln penny, take a closer look. Who knows? You might just find a hidden treasure. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the world of valuable coins and want to learn more tips and strategies for identifying coins worth money, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Join our community of coin enthusiasts and let's uncover the hidden gems in our pockets together. All right, picture this. You're digging through your couch cushions, hoping to find enough change for a vending machine snack. You pull out a penny, roll your eyes, and toss it aside because, well, it's just a penny. But what if I told you that penny could be worth $2.40 million? Yeah, you heard me right. Today, we're talking about the elusive 1991 no-mint mark Lincoln penny, one of the rarest and most valuable pennies ever discovered. And before you dismiss it as just another old coin, stick with me because by the end of this video, you might be running to check your spare change. I actually have a little story about this. A few years back, I was at a flea market, digging through a bin of random coins. Some guy next to me found a 1991 penny and chuckled, saying, "Man, I wish pennies were worth something. If only he knew. If I had known back then what I know now, I would have grabbed that penny right out of his hand." So today, we're going to break down everything you need to know about this rare 1991 Lincoln penny, why it's worth a fortune, and how you can tell if you have one hiding in plain sight. Most 1991 pennies were minted with a tiny letter underneath the date, either a D for Denver or an S for San Francisco. But a handful, nobody knows exactly how many, were struck without a mint mark at all. That's where the magic happens. These no mint mark pennies weren't supposed to exist. The U.S. Mint uses strict quality control, so when something like this slips through, collectors go wild. It's like finding a golden ticket in your candy bar, except instead of a chocolate factory tour, you get millions of dollars. The leading theory is that a worn-out die, the stamp that imprints the design on the coin, was mistakenly used at the Philadelphia Mint, where pennies typically don't have a mint mark. But for some reason, this batch had subtle differences that made them distinct from the usual Philadelphia pennies. It's kind of like when you show up to a wedding and accidentally match the bridesmaids. No one planned it, but suddenly, you stand out. That's what happened with this coin. Okay, here's where things get crazy. In pristine condition, what collectors call MS-68 or better, this penny recently sold for $2.4 million at auction. That's more than some Ferraris, a beach house, or an entire college education, with some leftover for snacks. Even if your penny isn't in top shape, it could still be worth thousands. A circulated one, meaning it's been used in everyday transactions, could sell for anywhere between $10,000 and $100,000, depending on its condition. So, yeah, that penny in your pocket might just be your retirement plan. All right, let's talk identification. If you've got a 1991 penny, do this. Check under the date. If there's a D or S, it's just a regular penny. But if it's completely blank, well, now you've got something interesting. Look for sharp details. The rare ones have a slightly stronger strike than normal Philadelphia pennies, meaning Lincoln's face and the lettering should look extra crisp. Check for errors. Some of these rare pennies also have doubling on the letters, making them even more valuable. And if you're not sure, Take it to a reputable coin dealer or grading service like PCGS or NGC. They'll tell you if you just found your ticket to early retirement. Now, before you start shaking down every piggy bank in sight, let me tell you where people have actually found these pennies. Yes, they've been discovered in everyday circulation, the kind your grandparents have sitting on a shelf. Some people have unknowingly sold these for a few cents. This is like treasure hunting, but without the need for a shovel.so. If you're not already hoarding pennies, now might be a good time to start. Most of us have probably ignored a penny or two, but after today, I bet you'll never look at them the same way again. That little copper coin could be the difference between an ordinary day and a life-changing moment. Check your pennies. Look in your couch, your car, that old jar on your dresser. Because someone out there is going to find another 1991 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny, and it might as well be you. If you enjoyed this, make sure to subscribe for more coin hunting secrets, rare finds, and tips on turning your pocket change into serious cash. Hit that like button, drop a comment if you've ever found a rare coin, and I'll see you in the next one. All right, folks, let me ask you something. Have you ever looked at the pennies in your pocket and thought, just spare change? Well, what if I told you that one of those little copper coins, specifically a 1979 D. Lincoln penny, could be worth a jaw-dropping $2.5 million? That's right, $2.5 million for a penny. Talk about a return on investment. Now, before you go running to grab your change jar, stick with me, because I'm going to tell you exactly why this penny is so valuable, what to look for, and how you can avoid accidentally spending a small fortune on a pack of gum. Plus, I'll share a story about the time I nearly lost a rare coin in the most ridiculous way possible. So, grab your magnifying glass, maybe a strong cup of coffee, and let's dive in. First off, the 1979 D penny isn't just any ordinary coin. Most 1979 D pennies are worth, well, 1 cent. Maybe a few bucks if they're in pristine condition. But there's one special error coin out there that's worth more than a mansion in Beverly Hills. It all comes down to a rare minting mistake. This particular penny was struck on a bronze planchet instead of the usual copper-plated zinc that the mint started using in the 1980s. Basically, it's like finding a modern car with a frame made of solid gold. It just wasn't supposed to happen. Back in 1979, the U.S. Mint was transitioning materials and processes. Somewhere along the way, an older bronze planchet got mixed in with the new materials, and bam, one extremely rare and valuable penny was born. And let me tell you, the odds of finding one of these are slimmer than my chances of winning a marathon, and I don't run unless there's free food at the finish line. But hey, someone has to find it, right? Why not you? All right, so here's how you can tell if you've got the golden ticket. I mean, the rare 1979 D penny. The standard 1979 D penny weighs 2.5 grams, but the rare bronze error weighs about 3.1 grams. So if you have a scale, check that weight. A genuine bronze planchet will have a slightly different tone, richer, deeper brown compared to the standard 1979 penny. If you drop a regular zinc penny and the rare bronze penny on a table, they'll make different sounds. The bronze one will have a slightly lower, more solid ring to it. This rare coin will have a distinct D mint mark for Denver, and the details should be crisp. The time I almost spent a valuable coin now. Let me tell you about the time I nearly spent a valuable coin without even knowing it. A few years back, I was sorting through a big jar of pennies, one of those jars that just sits around collecting dust until you finally decide to cash it in. I was halfway through rolling them up when I found this old, slightly worn penny. It looked a little different, but I figured, it's just a penny. So I tossed it in with the rest. I'm grabbing a coffee, and I go to pay. As I hand the cashier a handful of change, something in my gut tells me to take one last look. I pull the penny back, check the details, and my heart skips a beat. Turns out, it was a rare error coin worth over $1,000. I almost handed it over for a cup of coffee. A coffee. Always check your change, because that 1-second glance could mean the difference between spending a penny and cashing in on a jackpot. Now, let's talk numbers. This particular 1979 D bronze penny has been valued at an astonishing $2.5 million. And here's the kicker. Its value keeps climbing because of how rare it is. Collectors are constantly on the hunt for these oddities, and when one pops up, the bidding wars get intense. So, if you ever find one, don't rush to sell it. Get it authenticated by a professional grading service. Weigh your options, and maybe, just maybe, you'll be the next person to walk away with a small fortune from a single penny. All right, so what have we learned today? First, never underestimate your spare change. Second, always check for rare mint errors, especially on those older pennies. And third, if you find a coin that looks different, hold on to it, because it just might be your ticket to financial freedom. Now, I want to hear from you. Have you ever found an unusual coin in your change? Or maybe you've made the mistake of spending one without realizing its value. Drop a comment below and share your story. And if you enjoyed this video and want more tips on finding coins worth serious money, don't forget to subscribe. I've got plenty more insider coin collecting strategies coming your way.